Hi everyone, my name is KNS Swami. In this video, I am going to discuss about the ESR spectrum of transition metal complexes. Okay, now in the case of transition metal complexes, how can you calculate the number of ESR lines for a particular complex? Okay, so in order to calculate the number of lines in for a particular transition metal complexes, okay, we have classified these transition metal complexes into two types. Okay, so these transition metal complexes can be classified into two types. So one is transition metal complexes having one unpaired electron. Okay, transition metal complexes containing one unpaired electron. Okay, now another kind of these transition metal complexes. Okay, those are they are containing more than one unpaired electron. Okay, so here transition metal complexes containing more than one unpaired electron. Okay, so here in the case of transition metal complexes containing only one unpaired electron, here they are containing only one unpaired electron. Okay, they can follow. There is a rule. That is a Dragos rule. They can follow Dragos rule. Dragos rule. Whereas in the case of these transition metal complexes containing more than one unpaired electron, they can follow Kramer's degeneracy. Okay, they can follow Kramer's degeneracy. Okay, so here in the case of Dragos rule, what is Dragos rule? How, based upon this Dragos rule, how these transition metal complexes containing one unpaired electron species, one unpaired electron complexes, how they can exhibit number of ESR lines and how to calculate that number of ESR lines, that we will see in this particular video. After that, we will see this Kramer's degeneracy. Okay, so first of all, what is meant by this Dragos rule? Okay, so what is this Dragos rule? Now here Dragos rule. Okay, this rule was developed by the scientist Dragos. Okay, so that's why this rule we call as Dragos rule. Okay, now in order to explain this Dragos rule, I am considering in general. Okay, there is a metal radical. Okay, it is a metal radical. Okay, which is attached to the ligand. Okay, that is ligand AB ligand. Okay, so this is a one ligand. Okay, which is attached to this metal atom. Okay, metal radical. Okay, so here in this case, here this metal directly attached to the atom A. Okay, that is nucleus A. Okay, so which is further attached to the nuclei B. Okay, so if this A is ESR active, okay, if it is ESR active, okay, according to this Dragos rule, okay, if the metal radical attached to the attached atom or nuclei, okay, that is ESR active. Okay, so okay, this B atom, okay, which is okay, ESR inactive. Okay, or or in the second case, okay, this is case 1. Okay, in the second case, here this is a metal radical. Okay, so here if A is ESR inactive, okay, if A is ESR inactive, A is in ESR inactive. Okay, this B, okay, the nuclei B, which is ESR active. Okay, so these are the two cases. Okay, if the metal the nuclei which is directly attached to the metal radical, if that is ESR active. Okay, so another nuclei, okay, that is attached to that nuclei A, okay, that is ESR inactive. Okay, so okay, let us consider an example. Okay, suppose in the place of this AB, I am writing OH. Okay, OH ligand or NH2 ligand. Okay, so here in the case of this one, I am considering example. Okay, so here, okay, this is metal radical, okay, which is attached to the oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, so here, okay, this oxygen is ESR inactive because itself it does not having a nuclear speed. Okay, this oxygen nuclei is ESR inactive. Is ESR inactive. Okay, so it cannot involving it cannot form ESR spectra. Okay, whereas this hydrogen, in that case, okay, this hydrogen, okay, will be ESR active. It is ESR active. ESR active. Okay, so let us consider another example. So let us consider another example, okay, which is containing metal radical. It is directly attached to the nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, so here, okay, this nitrogen is a ESR active. Okay, if it is ESR active, okay, according to this Dragos rule, okay, it is ESR inactive. Okay, this hydrogen is ESR inactive. Okay, so this is the Dragos rule. Okay, so here when metal radical attached to the ligand, okay, so that is AB ligand. Okay, so the nuclei which is attached to the metal radical directly, okay, that is if that is ESR active. Okay, so another nuclei that is attached to that A, okay, that is ESR inactive. Okay, if A is active, B is inactive. Okay, so if A is inactive, okay, B is active. Okay, so I'm explained very simply by considering this one. Okay, here in the case of this one, according to this Dragos rule, okay, I am considering these two complexes. Okay, this is complex 1 and this is complex 2. Okay, so here, okay, according to this complex 1, okay, if hydrogen attached to non-magnetic nuclei, okay, in that case, okay, this hydrogen is ESR active. It is ESR active. Okay, so in the second case, if the hydrogen attached to the magnetic nuclei, which is this nitrogen. Okay, it is a magnetic nuclei. In that case, okay, this hydrogen is ESR inactive. Okay, so this is the rule behind this Dragos. Okay, so this is Dragos rule. Okay, now, okay, this scientist studied a complex, that is a copper complex. Okay, so I will explain that the number of ESR lines in that copper complex. Okay, copper plus 2. They have considered copper plus 2 complex. Okay, so here, in that case, okay, I have taken copper plus 2. Okay, so okay, this copper plus 2 and this is our nitrogen, this is carbon, This is carbon which is attached to the okay. So here, okay, this is oxygen and this is nitrogen. Here we have carbon and this is attached to the phenyl ring. Okay, so let us consider this complex. Okay, so here in this case, okay, this carbon attached to the hydrogen and this nitrogen can also attach to this hydrogen. Okay, so this is the copper plus 2 complex. Okay, in this one, okay, these two oxygens are ES are inactive. Okay, this copper nuclei ES are active. Okay, it will be having I is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, so it contains this copper plus 2 nucleus contains spin. Okay, nuclear spin. That's why it is ES are active. Okay, it is a metal radical. Okay, so okay here this metal radical directly attached to the okay, magnetic nuclei. Here, the nitrogen is a magnetic nuclei. Okay, so it is ESR active. ESR active. At that case, okay, this hydrogen is inactive. Okay, this hydrogen is inactive. Okay, so here this carbon is inactive. Okay, because it does not having spin value. Okay, so the carbon wall not inactive for ESR spectra. Okay, so okay, here this pi bond to be move towards like this. Okay, so the radical which is present in this on this carbon. Okay, so the radical will interact with this hydrogen. So this hydrogen is active. It is a active hydrogen. Okay, so now if you calculate the number of ESR lines, according to this Drago's rule. Okay, so at that case, okay, here we have okay copper plus 2 which is having I value 3 by 2. It means 3n plus 1. Okay, 3n plus 1. Okay, so in the case of this nitrogen, it will be having I is equal to 1. Okay, it means okay, 2n plus 1. 2n plus 1. Okay, so this hydrogen is inactive. Okay, so but this hydrogen which is attached to the carbon, okay, that is active. Okay, in that case it is n plus 1. Okay, so here okay, 3 into 1 because only one copper present in this complex, and okay, 2 into number of nitrogen, it is 1 and 2. Okay, 2 plus 1 into number of hydrogens, okay, which is attached to the carbon. Okay, so this is 1 and 2. Okay, so 2 plus 1. Okay, so here 3 into 1, that is 3 plus 1 4 into 2 does 4, 2 2s are 4 plus 1 5 into okay, 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay, so 2 5s are 20 into 3, that is 60 lines. 60 lines. Okay, so this is a theoretical value, okay, which we have calculated by using a simple general formula. Okay, now in experimentally experimental value, okay, that is 44 lines. You can observe, they can observe 44 lines experimentally. Okay, this is theoretical value. Okay, it is a theoretical lines. Okay, theoretical number of lines. Okay, here these are the experimental value. Okay, so suppose if I replace this hydrogens which is attached to the carbon, okay, with the methyl group. Okay, here for our convenience, I am indicating this hydrogen with the Roman number 1 and this is 2. Okay, so this is 1 and this is 2. Okay, this hydrogen one is inactive, okay, because it is directly attached to the active nuclei. Okay, so magnetic nuclei, okay, that's why it is inactive. Okay, so this hydrogen 2 that is active. Okay, if hydrogen 2 is replaced by the methyl group. Okay, so this hydrogen 2 is replaced by the methyl group. Okay, what happened? Okay, this methyl group, okay, if you replace the methyl group, okay, we get number of lines, okay, that is, okay, 3 into 1 plus 1 into 2 into 2 plus 1. Okay, so here in that case 4 plus 1 that is 5, sorry, 3 plus 1 that is 4 into, okay, that is 5. Okay, 4 fives are 20 lines. Okay, okay, we have 20 lines. Okay, if that hydrogen 2, okay, that is replaced by the methyl group. Okay, so okay, this what we have observed in the case of this complex. Okay, so actually, okay, we have theoretical number of lines, that is 60, but in experimental lines, okay, that is 44. Okay, so the difference between these 44 and 20, that is 14 lines. Okay, there will be a difference in 14 lines. Okay, so for this 60 and the 44, okay, there is a difference in 16 lines. Okay, so there is a difference in 60 lines for theoretical lines and experimental number of ESR lines. Okay, so now I am taking another example in for our understanding. Now calculate the number of ESR lines for titanium hexa aqua complex. Okay, so here, okay, titanium hexa aqua complex. Okay, here, okay, this titanium plus 3, okay, which is a D1 configuration, which is having D1 configuration, okay, which is containing one unpaired electron. Okay, so here we cannot observe dynamic John-Taylor effect. Okay, so all these 6 bonds. Okay, here this titanium hexa aqua complex, it is a, okay, octahedral complex. It is a octahedral complex, okay, which is having a same bond length. Okay, so there is no change in bond length. Okay, so if you observe, okay, here this is titanium, okay, titanium plus 3. Okay, so this is titanium plus 3. Okay, this directly attached to the oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, this oxygen is inactive. Okay, if it is inactive, okay, this hydrogen is active. Okay, so okay, here this titanium plus 3, which is having a spin value, okay, it will be having spin value I is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, so here the number of lines can be calculated. Okay, here, okay, 3n plus 1 into n plus 1. Okay, so all the bonds are equal, so all the hydrogens are identical. Okay, so here 3 into 1 plus 1 into, okay, there are 12. Okay, so 6 H2O molecules are H2O ligands are there. Okay, 6 into 2, okay, 12 hydrogens, so 12 plus 1. Okay, so here 4 into 13. Okay, so here 4 into 13. Okay, it means how much? Okay, so here, okay, we can observe 52 lines. Okay, 52 lines. 52 lines. Okay, so this is the number of ESR line for this titanium plus 3 titanium hexa aqua complex. Okay, so now, okay, let us take copper aqua complex. Okay, let us discuss about the copper aqua complex. Copper aqua complex. Okay, so here copper hexa aqua complex. Okay, so here okay, we have copper plus 2, copper plus 2, okay, which is a D9 system, okay, which is D9 system containing one unpaired electron, one unpaired electron. Okay, it is a octahedral complex. Okay, it is a octahedral complexes, a complex, okay, which is undergoes the dynamic John-Taylor distortion. Okay, so it undergoes the dynamic JT distortion. Okay, so dynamic JTD. Okay, dynamic John-Taylor distortion. Okay, it means we can observe jet out case. Okay, in that case, okay, we have okay, this is copper plus 2. Here, okay, this H2O, this is H2O, H2O, H2O. Okay, the bonds along Z axis, okay, they are elongated. Okay, these are shorter bonds. Okay, these are shorter bonds. These are longer bonds. Okay, so it means we can observe okay two kinds of hydrogens. Okay, two kinds of hydrogens. All the 6 ligands are non identical. Okay, so four ligands are identical and 2 ligands are along Z axis. Okay, they are identical. Okay, so we can observe two sets of ligands. Okay, so here in that case, how many number of ESR lines we can observe? Okay, so here the copper which is having I value, okay, that is I is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, in that case, okay, 3 into n plus 1 into n plus 1. Okay, this is along Z axis and okay, another kind of hydrogen okay, along the x and y planes. Okay, so here okay, 3 into so 1 copper plus 1. Okay, and the number of hydrogens okay for these 4 ligands okay we have 8 plus 1 okay into okay we have 4 along the Z axis. Okay, so here okay 3 into 1 that is 3 plus 1 4 into okay 8 plus 1 that is 9 into 4 plus 1 that is 5. Okay, so 4 9 sir. Okay, 4 into 9 into 5. Okay, so okay here okay, we can observe 180 lines. Okay, so we have 180 lines for this 180 lines for this copper plus 2 hexa aqua complex. Okay, so here we can observe okay, John-Taylor distortion. That's why we have two sets of ligands we can observe in the case of this copper aqua complex. Okay, now let us discuss another example. Okay, here copper okay, this is ethylene diamine. Okay, this is ethylene diamine and this is NH3. This is NH3. Okay, so here in this case, okay, here this copper undergoes plus 2 oxidation. Okay, we have I value that is 3 by 2. Okay, now how many number of lines we can observe in the case of this complex? Okay, since it is a square planar complex, okay, we cannot observe in the case of square planar complex. We need not to consider this John-Taylor distortion. Okay, so here we have okay, two kinds of two kinds of ligands are there. Okay, this is ethylene diamine and this is amino ligand. Okay, so here okay, here can calculate okay, this number of lines okay, that is okay, 3 into 1 plus 1 into okay, these two nitrogens that is 2 into 2 plus 1. Okay, here since hydrogens are inactive because they are directly attached to the okay, magnetic nuclei. Okay, according to Dragos, okay, if the hydrogens are directly attached to the non-magnetic nuclei, okay, they are inactive. Okay, so into okay, these two nitrogens okay, 2 into 2 plus 1. Okay, so we have 4 into 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 into again 5. Okay, 4 5s are 20, 20 into 5, that is 100 lines you can observe in the case of this copper plus 2 square planar complex. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the number of ESR lines by using this Drago's rule in the case of transition metal complexes containing one unpaired electron. Okay, so in my next video I will discuss about the Cramer's degeneracy, how to calculate the number of ESR lines in the case of complexes which are containing more than one unpaired electron. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have a nice day.